This is SDCX. Express Radio 1. Extraordinary Radio.
That's your host, King Smith. And it's Friday. Oh, head spinning around from our politics. Not too much. Taking a vacation from the vacation. Mailbox is loaded. Some great new artists. Something new from Night Sky International. Been looking at what would happen when somebody, when I would say, go back to where you come from. If I say that to somebody, I've had it said to me, and it is hurtful. I never really thought about it that much. Basically like water off a duck's back. When you really hear it thrown back at you, those are some very powerful words. And they cut like a razor blade under your eyelids, you know? This is some real serious stuff here we got, people. Anyway, music library, we're gonna make it short and sweet. We're gonna go with Johnny Clegg and Zavuka, and my favorite song from the late Johnny Clegg is called These Days. I always loved this song. Probably one of the best songs I think he ever recorded. Undecided Future gonna do super fine. This group is really wrapping up the charts. I mean, they're really making it. Here's a new one for today. This is the ad. Grade. And it's called What If I? And then we got Eddie Ray with La Cumbria. Fred Leonard is going to do Do You See Me in Your Dreams? And Another Night Sky, David Woolley. You're there, I'm here. And then we're going to go into Royals Now for Friday, July 19th. Anyway, you guys have a good weekend. Be safe. And like I said, I'm very appreciative of each and every last one of you come by and hang out with me. And let's see what's going on. Thank you for hanging out.
Hi, I'm Amanda P. Like all new parents, my husband and I want what's best for our baby. When it was time for our daughter's immunizations, we wanted the facts. So we carefully researched vaccines. We spoke with doctors and other experts and asked some tough questions. We decided that vaccines were the best thing for our child. I urge you to get the facts. Learn the facts about vaccines so you can make the best healthcare decisions for your family. Thank you.
A message from the American Academy of Pediatrics and vaccinateyourbaby.org.
Yashimbaula, Yashimbaula, hum. Yashimbaula, Yashimbaula, hum. Yashimbaula, Yashimbaula, hum. Yashimbaula.
What happened to the diamonds in your eyes? To the hunger for the day's chase? What happened to the electric smile that danced your life across your face? We used to talk about changing the world. Now all you wanna do is change your name. Oh, come on, baby, don't surrender now to the empty heart of these days. We used to talk so deep into the night. You had the heart of a wild horse running. You bet your soul to me, and we both knew these days were coming. These days of blood in the heavens, these days of fire and ice, oh, these days burning streets and visions, these days of the loveless child. You were the reason I came here. You will always be the one I'm looking for. I can't stand to see the way these days I'm pushing you against the wall. Gotta get up, gotta move out, face the tide beyond the dark. Outside there's the whole world changing. We can't stand here trapped inside. Let's step out and test the weather. Hold on, baby, it's gonna be alright. Through these days, I'm searching for a vision. These days of gunmetal blue. These days, I'll be changing my religion. These days, so heartless and cruel. Say the words and fill my sail. I love you through the coming gale. We'll get through the darkest part of these days. Who will watch the watchers? Who will keep the keepers? Who will love the lovers? Could you? These days, these days of blood in the heavens, these days of fire and ice, these days of burning streets and visions, these days of the loveless child. Oh, these days of fire and ice, these days of the loveless child. Oh, these days, I'm talking about these days. Oh, these days, these days. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah,
This is a radio station of the SDC Radio Networks. The music of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Thanks for listening.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give it up now. Give it up now. Give it up.
Well, ever since that day, she ran away, left me sad and sore. let's dance. Come on, baby, 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 let's dance. Super fine. You're wearing that tight dress I like, looking fly. Baby, let me take you home tonight. Super fine. Ooh, your lipstick on my suit and tie, looking fly. Baby, let me take you home tonight. Super fine. You're wearing that tight dress I like, looking fly. Baby, let me take you home tonight. Super fine. Ooh, your lipstick on my suit and tie, looking fly. Baby, let me take you home tonight.
Give it up now.
You are listening to the award-winning radio show from SDC Radio Works. This is SmithBits Talk Radio Magazine. With your host Kenneth Howard Smith. Thanks for listening.
This is a radio station of the SDC Radio Networks.
Lock it on to the best station on the net, around the planet on the World Wide Web. The Daily Dose. Don't go anywhere. In the mix.
Over the years, you've brought opioids into your home. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them just in case. But holding on to opioids puts your family at risk. Learn more at www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
What if I was a righteous queen? What if you were knighted? What if I was gasoline? What if you could light it?
What if I was a righteous queen? What if you were knighted? What if I was gasoline? What if you could light it? What if I wasn't 10 feet tall? What if you could reach me? What if I could do it all? What if you could please me? Oh, but that's how it goes, and no one knows. But it's just the way things have to be. I'll say it's you, you'll say it's me, 'cause three's a crowd and two is company. What if I wasn't there before? What if you had timing? What if I wasn't waging wars? What if you weren't fighting? What if I was a field of green? What if you were building? What if I was a quick machine? What if you could thrill me? Oh, but that's how it goes, and no one knows. But it's just the way things have to be. I'll say it's you, you'll say it's me, 'cause three's a crowd and two is. Alright, you know I'm gonna get you. Come on, you know I'm gonna get you. So what, you know I'm gonna get you. Yeah, right, you know. Alright, you know I'm gonna get you. Come on, you know I'm gonna get you. So what, you know I'm gonna get you. Yeah, right, you know. Alright, you know I'm gonna get you. Come on, you know I'm gonna get you. So what, you know I'm gonna get you. Yeah, right, you know. Alright, you know I'm gonna get you. Come on, you know I'm gonna get you. So what, you know I'm gonna get you. Yeah, right, you know.
gozar este ritmo tan sabroso, sí yo sé que les va a gustar. Vamos a bailar la cumbia, vamos todos a gozar este ritmo tan sabroso, sí yo sé que les va a gustar. Agarre a su compañera, agarre otra si hay quebrada, y atórele parejitos y al cabo que no se hace nada. Agarre a su compañera, agarre otra si hay quebrada, y atórele parejitos y al cabo que no se hace nada. Arriba compadre Chencho, si también mi comadre Lola, y no afloje a mi compadre porque al fin si la dejan sola. Arriba compadre Chencho, si también mi comadre Lola, y no afloje a mi compadre porque al fin si la dejan sola. Cumbia, vamos todos a gozar este ritmo tan sabroso, sí yo sé que les va a gustar. Vamos a bailar la cumbia, vamos todos a gozar este ritmo tan sabroso, sí yo sé que les va a gustar. Agarre a su compañera, agarre a otra si hay quebrada, y atórele parejitos y al cabo que no se hace nada. Agarre a su compañera, agarre otra si hay quebrada, y atórele parejitos y al cabo que no se hace nada. Arriba compadre Chencho, si también mi comadre Lola, y no afloje a mi compadre porque al fin si la dejan sola. Arriba compadre Chencho, si también mi comadre Lola, y no afloje a mi compadre porque al fin si la dejan sola. ¡Cumbia, mamá! ¡Échale, chiquita!
This is SDCX. Express Radio 1. Extraordinary Radio.
Here's farmer and landowner John Prue.
We purchased the land about 3 years ago, and there was an old farmstead on there with trees. We were going to clear the land so we could farm through it. We thought we knew where the pipe was, so we didn't call to get it located. The work on our property led to the damage of a light crude pipeline. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but it could have been much worse.
Never assume the location or depth of underground lines. Always call 811 or visit clickbeforeyoudig.com before you start work. A message from the Pipeline Operators for Ag Safety campaign.
When you go to sleep at night, do you see me in your dreams? These memories of me I want for you to keep. These things we've shared and done together. When you wake up quite early in the morning, do you have me on your mind? Or are these dreams of me just merely forgotten through the realms of a sleepy night time. You know I have tried to give you all to satisfy, but you won't let me love you, baby. Won't give me the time. When you walk along the road, do you see me in your shadow? Are these dreams of me just merely forgotten? Now doesn't it really matter? You know I have tried to give you all to satisfy, but you won't let me love you, baby. Won't give me the time. When you go to sleep at night, do you see me in your dreams? These memories of me I want for you to keep. These things we've shared and done together.
This is a radio station of the SDC Radio Networks. The music of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Thanks for listening.
I'm sitting here looking back, remembering how it used to be. We were so much in love. Why did I let you slip away? We used to talk about forever. Now we don't even talk at all. Oh, how things sure have changed. I wish you still felt the same. If I could turn back the hands of time, I would have given you more love, more than you would ever dream of. But instead all I gave you was nothing but tears. Yes, that's why you're there and I'm here. Why did I put you in second place? Yeah, I was just thinking of myself. Never took the time to say how much I care. I took you for granted, thinking you would always be there. If I could turn back the hands of time, I would have given you more love, more than you would ever dream of. But instead all I gave you was nothing but tears. Yes, that's why you're there and I'm here. but tears. Guess that's why you're there and I'm here. Guess that's why you're there and I'm here.
Hi, I'm Amanda Pete. Like all new parents, my husband and I want what's best for our baby. When it was time for our daughter's immunizations, we wanted the facts. So we carefully researched vaccines. We spoke with doctors and other experts and asked some tough questions. We decided that vaccines were the best thing for our child. I urge you to get the facts. Learn the facts about vaccines so you can make the best healthcare decisions for your family. Thank you.
A message from the American Academy of Pediatrics and VaccinateYourBaby.org.
You are listening to the award-winning radio show from SDC Radio Works. This is SmithBits Talk Radio Magazine. With your host Kenneth Howard Smith. Thanks for listening.
This is Reuters Now.
A different Congresswoman can...
U.S. President Donald Trump on Friday defended his supporters who chanted, "Send her back," at a campaign rally this week. The chant was directed at Somali-born Democratic lawmaker Ilhan Omar.
That stadium was packed. It was a record crowd, and I could have filled it 10 times, as you know. Those are incredible people. Those are incredible patriots.
Omar and 3 other progressive Democratic congresswomen have been the subject of Trump's vitriol for a week. The attacks started Sunday night when Trump tweeted that the 4 women, who are Black, Hispanic, or Muslim, quote, "go back to the places from which they came." Omar is the only one not born in America. The congresswoman was greeted with cheers at the Minneapolis airport Thursday night.
And when I said I was the president's nightmare, well, you're watching it now. Because his nightmare is seeing a Somali immigrant refugee rise to Congress.
Trump responded to her remarks Friday by saying this.
But I'm unhappy when a congresswoman goes and said, "I'm going to be the president's nightmare." She's going to be the president's nightmare. She's lucky to be where she is.
Trump has been widely accused of race baiting, and a House resolution earlier this week condemned his tweet as racist. It sparked enough concern that Trump on Thursday, at first, tried to distance himself from his supporters' chant.
When your supporters last night were chanting, "Send her back," why didn't you stop them? Why didn't you ask them to stop saying that?
Well, number one, I think I did. I started speaking very quickly. It really was a loud... I disagree with it, by the way.
His disavowal came after Republicans worried the sentiment could set the tone for the 2020 campaign. Republican Representative Mark Walker of North Carolina said, quote, "We cannot be defined by this." Walker said that Republican leaders in the House discussed their concerns with Vice President Mike Pence.
Well, the president's not a racist.
Republicans have squirmed at defending Trump's language, but as of Friday, only about 1/5 of the 250 Republicans in Congress have publicly criticized the president's words. Omar, along with 3 other congresswomen, has received death threats, but her supporters remain undaunted.
We have your back. And we are going to continue to be a nightmare to this president because his policies are a nightmare to us.
Massive and at times violent protests in Puerto Rico showed no signs of stopping Friday as protesters geared up to march another day. Thousands have jammed the streets of San Juan for nearly a week to demand that Governor Ricardo Rossello resign.
It was time for Puerto Rico to wake up and rise up against the oppressors. And we want to force the resignation of Rossello. The people have spoken, and he does not deserve the job he has.
The calls for Roseo to quit come after leaked text messages showed the governor and his closest allies exchanging derogatory, misogynistic, and homophobic memes and comments. 2 advisors who were part of the group chat quit after the messages were released. The scandal comes on the heels of a federal probe into corruption on the island, involving government officials who were charged in connection to an alleged scheme to steal federal Medicaid dollars. Amid this week's protests, officials said guns were stolen from a police station in the coastal city of Guayama. Police have also fired tear gas at angry crowds, setting fires. Some of Puerto Rico's biggest stars are backing the protesters, including Ricky Martin and reggaeton artist Bad Bunny, who joined the demonstrations in San Juan earlier this week. But while pressure grows for Roseo to resign, he remains adamant in his refusal to step down.
It's been known for decades as the capital of country music. But with a huge new Amazon logistics center, booming Nashville, Tennessee is shrugging off its one-note reputation, emerging as one of a handful of U.S. growth superstars, while other urban centers still struggle 10 years into the U.S. recovery. Reuters correspondent Howard Schneider says Nashville's turnaround started with a decision to ease the city's notoriously strict zoning laws back in 2008, during the last big recession when other cities were playing it safe.
Once those rules were changed, the lid was off and a lot of money rushed in, and that sort of created its own momentum.
When many cities were shying away from large public projects, Nashville gambled on this $600 million convention center and won big, also attracting the new world headquarters of investment firm Alliance Bernstein. All of that has meant thousands of new jobs. But even in a strong U.S. economy, Nashville's total job growth is still more the exception than the rule among good-sized U.S. cities.
Say the top 20 fastest growing cities in terms of getting extra share, they represent about a quarter of the population, yet got 40% of the jobs. That's a real mismatch.
And economists worry the winning formulas in places like Nashville may be hard to copy.
So the question is, what made that unique? And are there policy lessons or lessons that you could take there and say, well, this is scalable, this is replicable, this is something any city could do? And the answer is, well, kind of, but kind of not. You basically have a situation in this country right now where some very well-defined and very creative metropolitan areas are capturing the bulk of job and wealth growth and salary growth, wage growth, and everybody else is kind of like just barely staying above water. If at all, some are slipping behind.
That includes another popular tourist city, Charleston, South Carolina, and a host of metro areas in the heartland that have been shedding jobs like Peoria, Illinois. Schneider says the need for other cities to catch up to the high flyers is one reason motivating policymakers at the Federal Reserve to leave interest rates low and even consider cutting them. Incentives in the new tax laws may also offer a lifeline to slower-growing metro areas.
The recent change in the tax law actually gives some capital gains advantages to steer capital into places that aren't doing so well.
That could mean more cities looking like Nashville, with its skyline crammed with cranes and a host of new buildings on the rise.
A day of escalating tensions in the Gulf, all revolving around Iran.
I want to apprise everyone.
President Donald Trump announced on Thursday that the U.S. Navy had shot down an Iranian drone in the Strait of Hormuz. It was destroyed by the USS Boxer, seen here. The vessel has been patrolling the region, part of an increased American military presence.
The Boxer took defensive action against an Iranian drone, which had closed into a very, very near distance, approximately 1,000 yards, ignoring multiple calls to stand down, and was threatening the safety of the ship and the ship's crew.
The amphibious assault ship carries not only Harrier fighter jets, but an array of ground troops.
I also call on other nations to protect their ships as they go through the strait.
Also on Thursday, Iranian state TV reported that Tehran had seized a foreign tanker smuggling fuel in the Gulf. The Revolutionary Guard said the impounded vessel was towed after it sent a distress call. The US has blamed a series of recent attacks on fuel tankers on Iran. Adding to tensions, Trump announced new sanctions against Iran Thursday. The sanctions come as Trump, who quit a landmark 2015 nuclear deal, has been pressuring Tehran to renegotiate the pact, and as Iran steps up uranium enrichment, raising fears it could forge a path toward a nuclear weapon.
This could be the start of a very special relationship. Donald Trump backed Boris Johnson to be the UK's next Prime Minister at the start of his leadership campaign, saying he'd do a very good job. As we wait to find out if that's true, many see parallels between the two men that go beyond the blonde. Reuters' Guy Falconbridge says Bojo is Britain's Trump.
Boris has the hair like Donald Trump. He also has the ability to enrage, infuriate and charm sections of the electorate. And he's willing to go into issues, controversial issues, that other politicians wouldn't dare go into. And like Donald Trump, he has the guile, the political nous to get to the top and stay there.
For years it's been an open secret that Boris, as he's known, wants to be Prime Minister.
Do you think they've won?
Many believed that was why he swung behind Brexit in 2016, taking voters with him. The former Mayor of London was seen as a Remainer.
Both Boris Johnson and Donald Trump cast themselves as the anti-establishment choice. But in fact, both are from the very heart of their respective establishments. They cast themselves as the choice of the common man. They give blunt, often controversial assessments of what's going on and court publicity.
Both men bounced back from criticism that would fell other politicians. Trump became embroiled in another racism scandal this week, while some of Johnson's newspaper columns have been notorious. One likened women wearing the Muslim face veil to bank robbers. Another spoke of Africans with watermelon smiles and used a derogatory term for black children. Still, it wasn't always a love-in between the two. As London Mayor, Boris called Trump out of his mind for trying to ban Muslims entering the United States.
Donald Trump has made his views on immigration pretty clear. Boris Johnson is slightly different. He's a much more cosmopolitan character, born in New York, he lived in Brussels as a child, and Boris Johnson has a much more liberal view of immigration. But he's not averse to attacking immigration when it suits his political aims.
Critics derided Johnson as Trump's poodle this month, after he failed to back UK Ambassador to Washington Kim Darroch in a row over leaked cables that criticised Trump. Bojo was blamed when Darroch quit. Johnson says he'll take Britain out of the EU in a few months, come what may, and all eyes will then be on his transatlantic ties.
The relationship between Donald Trump and Boris Johnson will be the key one. Boris Johnson will be thrown towards the United States because the United Kingdom is leaving the European Union. And to get that leverage with the European Union, Boris Johnson will need to get very, very close to Donald Trump.
Ladies and gentlemen, the all-new 2020 mid-engine Corvette.
General Motors is going wheel-to-wheel with Europe's supercars. The firm showed off its brand new Corvette at a glitzy showcase in California Thursday. The 8th generation of the iconic American sports car has a radical new look. For the first time in its 66-year history, the Corvette's engine moves behind the car's two seats, a design choice more in line with its high-performance European rivals. The car's chief engineer, Taj Jukta, said previous models had reached the limits of what could be done with a front-mounted engine. He called the car's new layout a, quote, quantum leap forward in driving dynamics. The aim is to match Europeans on performance and beat them on price. GM executives said the so-called C8 goes from 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 3 seconds. And the US starting price will be less than $60,000. Little more than half the $113,000 cost of one big Corvette rival, the Porsche 911. The launch comes amid tough times for car makers. They face slowing sales, disruption from the trade war, and the costs of going electric. GM hopes its new star will be a shot in the arm.
The movie version of the hit stage musical Cats released its first trailer this week, and first impressions were not cuddly. Many Twitter folk found the realistic CGI human hybrid cat people, quote, scary, pure, straight-up nightmare fuel. The movie features Taylor Swift in her first film role, along with Jennifer Hudson, Judi Dench,
I haven't seen you before, have I?
Ian McKellen, Idris Elba, and James Corden. Many likened it to a horror film. One person wrote that it looked, quote, haunting, but I want to see it so bad. Others were more measured in their reaction. Quote, the trailer looked surprisingly good, which is kinda annoying cause I wanted to hate watch it. The film uses the actors' faces and covers their bodies in computer-generated fur as they sing and dance on a larger-than-life set. Some online were a bit freaked out by the realism. The film, helmed by British director Tom Hooper, who won an Oscar for The King's Speech and directed the recent Les Miserables, is the first movie adaptation of Andrew Lloyd Webber's unlikely hit stage musical, which opened in 1981 and became one of the longest-running shows on both Broadway and in London. The film's set to open in December.
You're up to date. Check back later as stories develop.
You are listening to the award-winning radio show from SDC Radio Works. This is SmithBits Talk Radio Magazine. With your host Kenneth Howard Smith. Thanks for listening.
This is a radio station of the SDC Radio Networks.
Lock it on to the best station on the net, around the planet on the World Wide Web. The Daily Dose. Don't go anywhere. In the mix.